When reconstructing any ammonoid, it's important to remember that soft tissue preservation is excruciatingly rare. The Nostoceratidae are the family of heteromorphs with the most complex shell shapes and therefore the most challenges when it comes to preservation. Reconstructing how they appeared in life depends largely on mouth parts, suture geometry, muscle scars, living chamber, phylogenetic relationships with other cephalopods, and depositional environment. Soft parts from a baculitid here on the right. This is an exceptionally well-preserved fossil with eye capsules as well as a beak, an esophagus, and a stomach, and the bases of the arms are still intact, and they do a wonderful job of showing the exact thickness of these arms. It's not known if ammonoids had adhesive surfaces lining the inner portion of their arms, but ammonoids are generally positioned phylogenetically with the coleoids, which include the octopus and squid, which commonly have sucker discs or hooks, so it's often assumed that ammonoids had a similar structure lining their inner arm. Muscle scars in the buccal region of ammonoid living chambers suggest that many ammonoids had powerful retractor muscles around their mouths at the front of their head, more like an octopus than a nautilus. When reconstructing, jaw parts are extremely important. The aptychi are the two valves of an ammonite's lower beak, and they are the most abundantly preserved mouthpart fossils in ammonite fossils. Most Cretaceous heteromorphs would fall into the Striapticus, which is a widened lower beak with a groove running up the middle. Within the aptychus sits the radula, which is in essence a tongue-like appendage made of spiny teeth. This one shown here is the radula of a Baculites heteromorph. It shows evidence of microphagy and specializing in the filter feeding of zooplankton. However, it's important not to paint all heteromorphs with the same brush. This is a Nostoceratid heteromorph, Didymoceras, and the Aptychus in situ shown here on the right is a very large, powerful adaptation which seems to show evidence of crushing large prey and cutting into large prey, not filter feeding plankton. And on the left here, we have Didymoceras's reconstructed beak as it would have appeared in life. So with that in mind, these are some of my reconstructions of Didymoceras. The Didymoceras on the right here, Didymoceras nebraskans, is the one that we just looked at in the fossil form. This is another Didymoceras, a very interspecifically variable one, so bear with me if you saw one that looked different. These are the sequences of life of a Didymoceras, taking into account the change in the orientation of the shell over time, as well potentially as soft part changes. Hyphalosaurus is interesting because it has an enormous siphungal diameter compared to some of these other nostoceratids, and it may have relied more heavily on jet propulsion than its cousins. Eubostrichoceras would have been found often in shallower waters that surround the areas Didymoceras would have been found in. The most challenging Nostoceratid to reconstruct is Nipponites because Nipponites lacks any sort of buccal material or aptychi in the fossil record. Reconstruction is largely mathematical in terms of how the shell would have been oriented in the water. That's all I have. Thank you very much.